Everyone knows that the scariest demons are found on Class 4 islands.
Yes. The Abbeys made sure to spread the word so that people don't put themselves in danger.
Yeah, and from what I know, the worst of the lot is a place called Boss Island.
Boss Island? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
I'd be surprised if you had. It's just a name we pirates gave it. All the biggest and baddest of demons come to that island to fight and kill each other.
So that's why you call it Boss Island. I'm just glad they're killing each other off and leaving us alone.
I bet it makes for quite the show, too. Maybe give it a name, like Ultimate Demon Fighting Championship or something.
Oh, that's a great idea. It sounds so festive. Bet it'd be fun.
Oh yes, you could even be the star of the whole show. There you'd be, standing alone against the nastiest critters around. I guarantee you'll have all of Midgand moved to tears.
Eek! Forget about them. I'll be the one crying if I tried that.
Poor Bienfu. Every time Mogulu teases him, I feel like I could cry too.
There's a Class 4 island that folks were too afraid to go near even before the demons showed up.
If there weren't any demons, what was so scary?
Well, the guy who owned the island was a real lowlife. They say he'd take a bunch of lawbreakers out there and make them kill each other.
Bien. Crimes or not, that's terrible.
The seas near the island ran red with the blood of the convicts. Hell, you could even smell it in the air. Folks say that even now, on nights when the sea turns red under the light of the crimson moon, the prisoners' spirits return to the island. You ask me? I bet that those demons are reincarnations of the dead prisoners. If you go there, you'd best be careful.
I'd rather just stay far, far away.
I heard about some Abbey people who went to recon a Class 4 island and haven't come back.
Oh? I wonder what's drawn their gaze.
Well, recently, a fishing boat carrying demons washed up in the harbor and caused a real stir.
The crew just probably caught demon blight, right?
Well, about that. People found flowers on the ship that only bloom on that there Class 4 island. But even if the fishermen had gone near the island, they weren't the types who'd ever even consider setting foot on its shore.
Could the demons have attacked the ship, then ridden it all the way to the harbor in search of more prey?
The demons were wolfmen-looking guys. Certainly got the Abbey on alert. A whole bunch of intelligent demons is bad news.
Wolfmen? An island of Therians? I'd say that place ranks 6th on the places where I'd least want to live.
Wait, what the hell kinds of places are 1 through 5?
We've been to all of the Class 4 islands now.
No matter how many monsters we beat up, they just keep coming!
After years of neglect, malevolence has seeped into the very bones of those places. No matter how many times we hunt them, more come.
Well, I can't complain. They make for good training.
You look pretty happy, Eleanor.
I am. When I think about how we've gone into places too dangerous for the Abbey and aided the public's safety, it makes me feel good.
Sticking your neck out for the Abbey when it wouldn't do the same for you sounds like a fool's errand to me.
I don't think so. There's a certain strength to be gained in doing things like that.
Oh, woe and misfortune, meow. The harbinger of the end has come to Normin Island, meow.
The Harbinger of the End?
What are you talking about?
The harbinger of the end is said to deliver judgment upon the world, meow. If he judges us bad, he will destroy us all. If he judges us good, he'll grant a single wish, meow.
That's rather binary.
Sounds like a man of extremes.
Not just extreme, but all-powerful, meow. Whatever you do, you'd better stay away from Normin Island.
Okay, just stop. Stop telling us not to do things!
Wow! I ain't seen people in forever! Not since Artorius and his bunch. You've met Artorius before? Met him? Boy, I tell you what, I've done way more than that. Once, we all went adventuring with Artorius and the king himself. If you can believe it, we traveled the world, purifying malevolence and spreading the blessings of Malakim.
Wait, the king?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only King Claudin, who ended the era of darkness.
The Hero King? How could someone from the distant past be traveling with Artorius?
Between you and me, little lady, he used an oath to live about another 300 years. Heck, he was even the former head of the Exorcists.
King Claudin was the head of the Exorcists?
He held that post for a real long time, but then he met Artorius, who was an orphan. The king couldn't have been happier. He found an earnest pupil, a perfect candidate for his successor. But then, things took a mighty sad turn for the worse.
What happened?
All the other Normin who traveled with us are on their way to the place where Claudin died. The place known as Loringen. If you want to know more, you ought to ask them.
It's hard to believe that King Claudin, the former head of the Exorcists, and Artorius' teacher were all the same person.
It's not so unbelievable. Melchior was using the same oath. I'd even go a step further and say that Melchior was imitating Claudin to get in his inner circle.
Hold on. You didn't happen to know Claudin, did you?
Afraid not. I never met the man in person. But I knew he had enough quirks to really get the old geezer's goat sometimes. I mean, he gave up wealth and power to protect the world as an exorcist. The man lived for his work in the same way that a fish lives to swim in the sea.
And Artorius is the one who took his place.
For now, let's just focus on getting to Loringen. Listen, Velvet. If nothing else, I think you should find the truth for your own sake.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's Jude and Milla.
What are you two doing here?
Is there any chance the two of you are the harbinger of the end?
No, we're not.
But the Harbinger has entrusted us with his battle. The Battle of Judgment.
The Battle of Judgment?
You're not saying that if we lose to you, our world will be destroyed, are you?
That's exactly what we're saying.
This Harbinger of the End, did he promise to send you back to your world if you won?
Look, we just have things left to do back in Riza Maxia.
I'm sure you do, but we've got unfinished business here in our world, too.
A girl and her pet? You really want to take us on?
Not a pet. Magikazam! A human!
What? I've never seen my little incantation have such an effect before!
Such is the power of the Harbinger of the End. Perhaps now you see the gravity of this battle.
You'll have to give it everything you've got if you want to beat us. In place of the Harbinger of the End?
Let the Battle of Judgment begin! What are you two trying to do?
I'm in your debt.
Flames, triple water, dance and short wind. Be my blade, my spear. Elements, I call thee. Disgraceful.
When it comes to
Blade
annihilating!
I think we're done here.
Milla!
This fight is over. Victory goes to the woman there.
I take it you're the harbinger of the end?
Correct. I am the one who delivers judgment upon this world. As the victor, I shall grant you one wish. Whatever it be, speak it now.
I want you to return these two back to their world.
Why?
You said you have things to do back home, right? That's why.
Are you certain? I can grant you anything your heart desires, even the chance to turn back time and undo the past.
No, I won't run away. Not from my past, and not from the wrongs I've done. That is my decision.
Then the judgment has been dealt. I sense no malice in your will. As such, the world shall not meet its demise.
Huh?
You see, your answer was the true test of judgment.
We were charged with drawing out your true innermost wish.
Then the Harbinger's a fool. I'm the Lord of Calamity here.
And what of it? Not all demons must be evil, and not all heroes must be good. Humans are complex creatures, as capable of love as they are of hatred, and committing sin as often as acts of charity. Goodness and malice are but two halves of one whole, the line between which is ever shifting.
Well then, you're as bad as it gets. You were ready to destroy the world. Had the one who answered fallen under the shifting notion of evil.
Indeed. But the good within that same single person carries the opportunity to save the world as well.
That's a terrible gamble.
No, I always believed it would turn out this way.
Me too. I trusted you would all do the right thing in the end. Jude has good instincts when it comes to humans.
That's too bad, because I'm not a human.
You're not? Well, that still doesn't really change anything.
No matter if you're a human, a spirit, or a demon lord.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all.
Come. I have kept you two away from your world for far too long. It is finally time for me to return you to where you belong.
Huh?
Goldapan?
Was that Goldapan talking just now?
When the end times come, a talking Pengyone will declare judgment upon the sinful. Goldapan is said to be an ominous creature that signals the end of the world.
Oh yeah, I remember all that now.
I can't believe that Goldapan was the harbinger of the end.
That was a close call. If Velvet had devoured everything like usual, the world would have ended.
Hey, I'm not the Reaper here.
Anyway, I'm glad Jude and Milla were able to go home.
Definitely. Although, I'm not sure I'll be able to eat penguin meat ever again.
Indeed. Wouldn't want to accidentally nosh on the harbinger of the end.
Good luck out there.
Show him how
Hey, I've got a question. Were you one of the Normin who traveled with Artorius?
Why, sure! Are you a relative of his or something?
Tell me, what happened here?
No can do. That ain't something I can just go blabbing about.
I'm a follower of Melchior's, who in turn stood behind Claudin. Please, we'd like to know.
Well then, this place is where Claudin died. It all happened more than 10 years ago. Claudin had taken an oath never to kill, but he broke it to save the life of Artorius, his most beloved disciple.
Another death on his hands.
Nah, Artorius didn't do nothing wrong. There was no other way Claudin could have saved the boy. Besides, Claudin had nearly stretched that oath to its limits. Claudin believed in the purity of Artorius' spirit. He entrusted his hopes and the very future of the world to his disciple. Sad thing is, Artorius just kept blaming and blaming himself for the death of his master.
That sounds like him.
So he tried to do everything he could to live up to Claudin's ideals, with no one else to help. He traveled the world teaching folks about Malachine and them dreadful demons, and how important it is to have a pure heart. But people had lived in peace so long, they didn't care for his stories. And in the end, the four Empyreans drifted into slumber. Once again, Artorius felt he had nobody to blame but himself. So what did he do? He started talking about how if we stuck with him, he'd turn us into demons. So he journeyed to the east, all by his lonesome.
He went east.
Say! How is Artorius doing these days? What's he been up to?
Thanks for sharing your story. I know it must not be the easiest thing to talk about.
Midgand has become a dangerous place. You should go back to Normin Island before you turn into a demon.
So, our young head exorcist, racked with despair and helplessness, gave everything up and headed to the east! So then, to Eastgand, I guess?
Maybe to a ball?
Velvet, why don't we stop in a ball? I feel like we're being called there.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Once I saw this place, it all started to make sense. Artorius must have lived a happy and peaceful life here.
Who are you?
Who, me? I'm a Norman who traveled the continent with Artorius years ago. He's been on my mind quite a lot lately. So I followed a rumor that led me here.
That Princessia. Were you the one who put it out?
Nope, wasn't me. It was already here when I arrived. Do you know the deeper symbolic meaning behind the Princessia flower?
It can mean an irreplaceable treasure, or that you wish them well for years to come.
Then the one who planted it was... Yep, that's right. The person lying in this grave saved the life of a certain someone who had been worn down and broken by his mission. Thank you. The poor fellow. He was always so serious. So deadly, deadly serious. And he was practically always being strangled by his own conscience. So much so that he deluded himself into believing he needed to erase the emotions of the human race he so dearly loved. Please, if I may, somehow, some way, set the poor guy free.
Oh, I intend to. But my version of setting him free might be a bit different from yours.
Well, I'm still counting on you, Lord of Calamity. I think I understand Artorius' past now.
Yeah. No matter who you are or how far up the chain you climb, life never entirely goes your way.
You said it. As much as he claims to be a man of reason, he still managed to give in to sentiment enough to plant flowers here.
Not only can he not protect the ones he loves, he can't even permit himself to be free.
Indeed. But I think that's human nature, too.
I suppose. But I'd also say he has an inner strength like no one else. He lost his master and his wife, and yet he overcame those failures to rise again as the shepherd.
I get that. But it doesn't absolve his crimes. I have to settle the score with him.
Yeah. I'll be with you until the very end, Velvet.
Are you sure that's really something you want to say in front of your sister's gravesite?
All the more reason. She should hear this.